The next part is for making sales. So for the sales part, we have the selling with fixed prices and selling with the free prices. So when you're selling with fixed prices, it means the items that are programmed for you in your ETR, you want to be selling them at a constant price, at a price that does not change. The other one is selling with free prices. When you're selling with free prices, you're the one who determines the price you're selling that item at. So when you're making a sale, you should, before you make the sale, let's first print out the list of programmed items in our ETR, because for these new Teams machines, it's a requirement by KRA that when you're producing a receipt, it should have a description of what are you selling. So to print the list of programmed items in your ETR, you navigate the modes to programming mode. So you go to programming mode, you press total once, and then you press the plus sign, it will write PLUs, and then you press the QTY button. It will produce for you the list of programmed items in your ETR. If you want to cancel that list, you just press C. It will give you the list of programmed items. So normally when these items are being programmed, we usually specify the tax group of those items and whether it's free price or fixed price. So when you want to make your sale, you go to registration mode, is the one for sales. So you go back to registration mode, you press total. Then after pressing total, it will display 0.00. So you first input the price of what you're selling, VAT inclusive. So if you can see my list, I have several items here. The first one is cement, but they have codes starting with #001. There's here #002. So these codes are called PLE codes or item codes. Those codes are important when you're making your sales. So for my case, if I want to sell something on cement, I will use code 1. If I want to sell something on tea or snacks, I will use code 2. So you should be able to know the codes of the programmed items in your ETR. So for example, I want to sell a bag of cement at maybe 1,000 shillings. So when I come to my ETR, I input that price, and the price you put there must be VAT inclusive. So you come and put 1,000 shillings. You should make sure you have 1,000 shillings on your screen. After inputting that, you register that price by pressing SH and PLU. So you press SH and PLU, and then you put the code of what you're selling. So you look at the list of the programmed items you have, you look for the code of that item. For my case, I have code 1 as cement. So if I want to sell cement, I'll use code 1. So you put the item code, for mine is 1, and then you register that item code by pressing PLU. It will print a paper there. So this arrow, it's for pushing the paper up, so you can confirm if whatever is there is whatever you want to sell. So you can push it up once or twice, so you confirm if what is there is whatever you want to sell. If it's okay, you press total. So it will print the receipt. The receipt will have the total amount, the total taxable amount, and the total taxes. And for this new Teams machine, the receipt must have the CU serial number, which is the serial number of your machine. It must have the CU invoice number, which is the invoice number of that receipt you produce. It must also have the QR code for authenticity of that receipt. When you scan that QR code, it should be able to give you a link that takes you to KRA's portal that gives you the details of that receipt. So that's how you produce a receipt. You input the amount, you register that amount by pressing SHPLU, you put the code, you register that code by pressing PLU, you confirm if whatever is there is okay. If it's okay, you press total. So if you want to make a sale of multiple items, maybe 3 different items in one receipt, it's very simple, it's the same process. So when you're here, you can make your sale from here, or you can go back to registration mode, so you start your sale from there. To go back to registration mode, you press SH and VD mode. It will take you to registration mode. You press total. You input the price of what you're selling, VAT inclusive. So let's say it's 20,000. That's 20,000. You register that price by pressing SH and PLU. Then you put the item code of the first item. Let's say it's code 2. You register that code, you press PLU. If that's okay, If you want to add another item, you enter the price of the next item just while there. Let's say the next item is 3,000 shillings plus VAT. So you input that amount. You register that price, SHPLU. You put the code of that item. If it's 5, you register that code, PLU. If you want to add something else, you just do that process repetitively. If you're done, you press total. It will print the receipt of the total amount of the items you've kept. So it does not matter if your items are tax group A, B, or C. It usually calculates the individual taxes and add them together.